Elizabeth Langford, and this is
Jason Lackey.
And we are so excited that you are joining us here. It's Tuesday morning. It's getting hot here in Arizona. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I made a poor decision dressing this morning. I was dressed in a flurry, to be fair.
You did dress rather quickly. For those of you that are tuning in now to see Rachel Earl,
I am clearly not Rachel.
Yeah, this is not Rachel of Earl and Lane. Unfortunately, Rachel had a little bit of a mishap on the way to the studio this morning.
Yeah.
Her oldest threw up all over her car.
All over the car, which is, if you've been a part of that, especially in Arizona, I won't go into the details of why it's bad.
It's going to be 106 degrees today, guys.
That's a tough situation.
Oh, so. It's a bad one. And she's got, I think four little ones. Kids. Yeah. So poor thing. And so we're hoping that that Rachel's little one will be feeling better really soon. We're still going to go ahead and talk about mobile conversion.
Yeah, the show must go on. That's what they say in
show business. We're breaking legs. So if you are tuning in and you haven't joined in yet in the chat, make sure that you jump in the chat so that you can ask us questions. We'll be answering those throughout the show. And we actually have a couple of questions for you. One, we'd love to know, when was the last time someone puked in your car, kid or otherwise? Right?
Be a good story that goes
there could be a fantastic story there. And then we're also curious to know, do you have your website converted yet to a mobile design?
Yeah, have you converted your site?
Have you converted your site? There's something else before we actually get into this, and I'll pull my laptop up. United, we talk about this every week on Short Live.
With good reason. It's going to be
epic.
I'm getting more and more excited every day.
Oh my gosh. As it gets hotter here, we're getting more and more excited for that beautiful, hopefully 80-degree weather.
And look at that picture.
It's gorgeous. We're going to be at the Fire Sky Resort. It's October 18th, 19th, and 20th in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is sort of somewhat our backyard. We all live in Gilbert.
Yeah, it's our backyard.
Yeah, it's our backyard. But we're so excited to be there, and we hope that you will join us. There are only 50 tickets left. So we are,
you guys.
Yeah.
That's like
there's only 50.
One rush and they're gone. That could be the day.
Gone, right? So so you want to make sure that you grab that ticket. We have an amazing lineup of speakers. We've got Justin and Mary Morantz are coming, Caitlin James, Rachel Brenke, who is the Law Talk. She is both a lawyer and a photographer.
That's the name.
Right? And just a whole bevy of amazing photographers. Philip and Eileen Bloom are coming from Georgia, if you haven't heard of them yet. Yeah. I was actually just Skyping with them last night from a Dick's Sporting Goods. We needed to have a chat, and I was like, and they're like, why are there kayaks behind you? Because I'm at a sporting goods store. So it was pretty cool. But they're coming, and you can go to the United website, which is showitunited.com.
Looks like JT put it up in there.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, JT. We love JT. JT runs everything behind the scenes on the show for us. Without JT, there'd be no show.
We'd be toast. He's the brain behind this all.
He is.
But on there's the speaker page.
Yeah.
And it lists it all out. It's really pretty. And there's a bio on everyone if you don't know who they are. Some new faces to you maybe. And check them out because this is a good group.
It's awesome. Yeah. And we put in a detailed schedule. So you can find out more information about what's happening each day.
And I think that's what Lynette is asking about. She said, when will actual speaker information?
Yeah, Lynette, if you go and you check the schedule, you can see a more detailed schedule. We have not posted yet exactly what time each speaker is speaking and what their topic is. We actually do have that information because I'm a little bit type A, you guys, and so I have a detail down to the minute.
She's got it down.
I've got it down, but we want there to be like a few surprises and a few exciting things happening here and there. And we actually have a couple more speakers that we may be adding to the list that we're chatting with. So
So as if that list isn't good enough,
right?
I mean,
it's amazing. It's gonna be so much fun, and we want to thank Tonic Site Shop for this beautiful style group that they let us use for the United website, which is just absolutely awesome.
And Segway, it looks great on mobile.
It does.
If you've been to this site on mobile, it looks amazing.
And
you did all that.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, and you can do that too.
And you can too.
And
Segway.
you can too. Exactly. Segway.
High five.
Woohoo!
Nailed the Segway.
That was a really nice segue. Yeah, it was a good segue. Have you ever ridden a Segway?
Yes, I did once.
Seriously?
San Francisco, yeah.
Well, now that seems a little scary.
It was like
up and down.
Well, yeah, they didn't take us on like Lombard Street or anything, but they make you wear like a bright green neon vest and like a helmet, so you look ridiculous. You're in this group of like 20, old people just like around the city. Everyone's like, look at those guys.
I totally want to do it. I actually saw, we were in Scottsdale a little while back. Our team went over to hang out at the Fire Sky Resort because we're just like already getting nostalgic for something that hasn't happened yet. And Todd Watson and I were like looking out the window. We're like, is that a Segway tour? They actually have them in Old Town Scottsdale.
It is. So right by. So, I mean, if you don't need another reason.
Right.
To come to United. Segway tours.
Segway tours. All right, perfect. So what we want to do today, what we were going to do with Rachel, Rachel was going to do a 30-minute mobile conversion to show you just how simple it can be to convert your site. And Rachel is an amazing designer. You can check out her work at erlinlane.com. But what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of break down how I did my mobile site, and hopefully, again, I'm not super techy, but hopefully this will all work out, and we will be able to show you what the inside of Showit looks like and kind of walk you through the steps of converting your site. There's multiple different ways that you can do this, which I think is one of the coolest things about Showit is that there's not just one way to do something, and so we kind of want to show you that. So JT, will you pull up the inside of Showit for me, of my Showit account? So this center part, in case you are not familiar with the lingo here at Showit, we call this the stage. And there are flyaways, little arrows on either side of the stage that you can click, and those will open up little flyaway windows for you that you can navigate around and do things inside of your site. So the first time you actually go to convert your site, there's going to be a button up there.
Nice big blue button.
A nice big blue button for converting your site. But let's say you're ready to maybe try the 2.0 version of your site. There's a little button, a little icon, I should say, and it kind of looks like the world. It makes me think of Pan Am Airlines. Did you ever watch the show Pan Am?
No.
Oh, so good. I was so sad when they canceled that. I didn't. Whatever, ABC. So you click on this little world icon. It has a little arrow, and that says copy to plus site. But there's a couple of really important things you want to make sure you do before you come and click on this little icon. You want to make sure that you have the top root folder selected of your site, and that way it's going to pull all of the pages over from your site. And you can see down in here, I've got a root folder that has all of these various different pages. So I'm going to select that.
And generally, that'll be the highest one in the list. But there can be folders within folders. So you just kind of want to be mindful of what's the absolute highest one that the site you're using is in. Because sometimes people have multiple sites. So just make sure you grab the right one.
Well, and for example, on mine, I have a splash page, a welcome page here that is in its own separate folder. But I'm actually not going to use a splash page on mobile, and so I'm not gonna worry about that one. I'm going to come down to the next folder down that has like the home and the about and style pages in it, and then I'm going to come and click on again the Pan Am button. Great show. Go ahead and Netflix it if it's there. And you can see I have played around with
quite a few
mobile style groups here. But if you click on add new mobile plus site, that nice big button, and you can give it a name. So we're going to call it Showit Live Mobile Test.
And this name is changeable, and also the plus site name is all changeable. So if you're like, well, I just want to play with it, you're not set in stone on any of these, because a lot of people, they go in there and they're like, oh, I don't want to do something I can't change.
You can change anything, and if you have questions, we have an amazing support pro team, and you can come into chat and ask them a question, and they'd be more than happy to help you. So now, after you click that button on create new site, you want to come and click on the one that says open new site. Your plus site has been created. Open your new site to start working in it. And then I usually do like to click yes, save the current site. It just feels like the right thing to do. So now it's committing to it. Now it's going to load up your new site, and it's going to have brought over everything from your desktop site. But keeping in mind that desktops are horizontal, except for people. Todd sometimes likes to search things in browsers that are vertical.
Yeah, he does.
He does. But mostly we're working with horizontal wide sites. So as you come over into your mobile site, keep in mind it's going to be narrow and it's going to scroll. And so all of my information that's in that top level folder, so basically that's my navigation and that's my logo. It's any information that I want to be on every page is going to be right here in the middle. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move in. You can come down here to this little what is that? Like microscope, magnifying glass.
Oh, and one thing on that, just really quick, that we added with this customable update is you can do Command plus and Command minus to zoom in and out, which is really nice, especially when you're working, or Control. It'd be Control on Windows, right? So it'd be Control Plus or Command or Apple on Apple.
Yeah.
So it's super fast to just pop right in and pop out in terms of zooming.
And move things around. And so then I can come over, I grabbed all of my navigation and I can squeeze it down if I want to make it smaller. But what I want to do is I actually want to go in and show you the individual pages. And so if you come here, you can see all that info is wide and horizontal across the screen. I wanted something a little bit different than my desktop site for mobile. I wanted a really simple and clean experience for my user. And so I actually ended up deleting all of the pages except for the home page and kind of starting a little bit from scratch. I kept a lot of the same design elements because I thought that that was really important. I want it to be consistent. I want it to still look like me and feel like my brand. Yeah, but I wanted it to also be appropriate for mobile.
Right. And so, can I say something on that really quick?
Yes.
If I may interject. I think that's a really great even point on our philosophy behind custom mobile to begin with, and kind of why we did this system. Because a lot of websites will, push out just a best guess for your mobile site. It'll take your desktop site and go, well, this will work on mobile. And what we're saying is that we think the mobile experience should be very custom and very intentional in every part of it.
Absolutely.
So what Liz is saying here is she said some of these elements work, but they worked really well on desktop. So I'm going to take some of those out and make this so it's specifically for mobile because I think the stats are like 60% or something.
80%.
Is it 80 now?
Yeah, it's huge.
Like 60% of Facebook, and like it's crazy how much mobile is being used. So it should be intentional.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think it should be really intentional and it should be really you, because that's the beauty of Showit. And it's something that we actually just at our core believe here at Showit, that we believe that technology should enhance your creativity, not take it away.
Exactly. Or be a best guess.
Yeah.
Your creativity.
It should ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I started grabbing the pieces, and you can see here over on the layers panel. And when you're working inside of Showit, you can look at the pages view, which shows you the different pages in your site, or you can look at the layers view, which shows you the different elements that are actually on the page that you're on. And you can see I got my logo here. It was locked down. So that specification from the desktop site, it actually came all the way over on mobile. So I need to unlock it. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to drag it up to the top. And here's something really cool you may not have noticed in Showit, because I didn't notice it. This was like 4.5 years in to my experience with Showit. Over on the right-hand side where you have the layout, link, effect, and advanced tabs, if you have an element selected, those are the ones that you're going to see. If you unclick, it switches over and it shows you page, HTML, style, and share. But with my logo selected, if I come over here just to the right of where it says position in the X and Y area, I can actually tell an object to center horizontally or to center vertically. This works both in mobile and desktop. And if I just click horizontal, I know that logo is bam, right in the middle.
Boom, right.
And I don't have to guess, right? We don't like it when you have to guess. So I then went through and I grabbed these other pieces, and I can see one of these lines is locked. So I went back down through and found out, okay, hey, what's locked? Let's unlock it. Let's move it up. Again, wanting to keep the same feel and the elements of my desktop site, but realizing on mobile, this is a really different experience for people. And things need to be much bigger. Buttons need to be bigger. So if you're doing social media icons, for example, you want to make sure that they're much larger. If things are locked down, see, it looks like right now they're locked down. I come through and this is how I do it. I just click through one time, select everything, unselect everything, unlock it all. And it's like you're unlocking the keys to the kingdom, right? And making this picture a little bit larger up here at the top. So there's my face. That feels awkward. And then there were some social media elements that ended up below that, and they seem to be hidden. So I've got to go and put those in the right place. But as you go through each page on your site, if you want to put something to be on every single page, again, just like you would do on your desktop, you need to make sure that it is in the foreground or the background.
Right.
So that works just like it would on desktop. So you're probably already familiar with
all
with
the
how
design
that
elements are the same. It's just a lot of moving around and then trying to think of things in a vertical.
Right, in a vertical manner. And speaking of that vertical manner, if you are wanting to make your site even longer, which is what I ended up wanting to do because I wanted a single page, if you come up here to the top, the root folder of your site, and you look over on the right-hand side here under the Style Group tab, you can actually change the height and the width of your page. We recommend you don't touch the width.
Right.
Because because our mathematician genius developers have figured out what width that should be
best
at.
For your phone.
But you can increase that height, I think, all the way to like 8,500 pixels.
Which is pretty big.
Which is sweet. I think I made mine 7,500.
And so the idea behind that is just having one page on your site that has everything. Because I mean, on the phones, everyone's used to just scrolling. You go on Instagram, you just scroll endlessly. And one really cool way that you can even do that is like you had set it to 7,500. Then you can go, and maybe you're going to say this, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But, and then just go to all of your other pages and copy content off of it. And then just paste it right onto that one main page that you have.
And just paste it right over.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go grab my actual mobile site here to show you what it looks like, because I am not as fast as Rachel. Rachel is really good at doing this.
She advertised
quickly.
a half hour.
Yeah, she did. I was like, that's amazing. I don't think I can do that. But I did do mine in less than an hour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was not terribly time consuming, but it was about being thoughtful of what was on there. So again, my logo at the top, I kept the line so that it felt like my desktop site. Put a picture up there of me, a little hello, information about where you are. I think this is something interesting. We see this a lot on people's websites, that maybe in one place they have where they're located, but it's not consistent throughout the site. I think it's really helpful to say where you are located.
Yeah, I think so too.
And most wedding photographers or photographers now are able to travel, which is really cool. That's a great thing about being a photographer is you get to get out and go places. But I have a location right there. Do you guys have any questions on in chat? If you've got questions about mobile, post them up, because we'd love to talk about it and see what it is that you're working on. I made my social media icons really large on the screen.
Right there in the forefront too.
Right, right on the top, because I think if you're on a mobile device, like you probably get on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or Twitter, because that's just who you are. I used a gallery up here at the top that will rotate through images. I mostly chose vertical images, just because they fit right in the space, and the spacing was correct for those. But if you want to, you can always go in and like use Photoshop or use Lightroom and actually take a horizontal image and make it the correct dimensions for vertical. And I think it's important that you always prep your images outside of Showit and then bring them in knowing like what dimensions you're going to have them at.
And so for this one, did you end up just creating a new gallery? We had Lucy asking about the different galleries and adding the galleries. So did you copy this over from your gallery page that was on your desktop site that you brought over, or did you just add it new?
I added it new, and actually, to be perfectly honest, the way that I designed my own site was I started with a blank site.
So you didn't bring much content over.
I didn't bring much content over. I opened my desktop site in another window and was able to refer back to that and just made sure that the elements came over, because I knew right away I only wanted one page.
And you can access your media library of your main site while on your mobile site. So it's not like all that stuff is gone.
It's right there, which is great. But Lucy, let's look at actually how we would replace a gallery. Here we can make galleries any size that we want to. And so if we wanted to take this gallery, and you can click on the little flyaway down at the bottom, click on Showit Library, and there are 3 different kinds of galleries that are already built into Showit Mobile for you to use. The first is an HTML5 simple gallery, which you'll be familiar with from the desktop portion of Showit, because that's something that you're using anyway.
And that works with touch. You just swipe your finger across to look through the images, which is really nice.
There's the looping gallery, which also exists in the desktop site, and that will auto. Yeah,
they just roll across the screen.
That'll auto scroll for you. And then there's something, it's one of our newer updates in the last couple of months, and it's called tiled gallery. And tiled gallery is really cool because it's a way that you can show sort of an endless list of images to your user, you always want to put tiled gallery at the very bottom.
Right. It's a masonry style or masonry style gallery.
Yeah. Which is really cool. It feels very Pinteresty.
Yeah.
Right. The way that like Pinterest. We love the Pinterest. I'm not sure Jason uses Pinterest much.
I do actually.
Do you really? That's awesome for all of your woodworking projects.
Woodworking, cooking.
That's awesome. Chicken. Jason's raising chickens with his family, which is a whole other show.
That's a whole different show. We'll go
So should we go ahead and replace this this gallery here?
So one of the biggest reasons that you would use this, especially in doing a mobile conversion, is that a lot of times you have a different kind of gallery on your desktop site.
Right.
So when you move your desktop site over to mobile, it'll have the wrong kind of gallery essentially. It's not it might not
you want.
Yeah, especially if your site was built, a little bit longer ago. It might not be the mobile optimized gallery. So what you would do is you can go ahead and show if you click there and then hit the replace selected layers.
It's that little icon down in the bottom left. It shows an arrow going down, and what that did was that just grabbed all of the images and changed the gallery type.
So you don't have to delete the gallery completely, add a new one, and then add the images. It just swaps it right out, which is really, really cool. It makes that a lot faster for you.
And I can grab on this, pull it to the side, and actually make it the size that I want it to be. Here's where you do run into wanting to prep your images outside of Showit to bring them in so that you have the correct dimensions. So I would have taken this first image here, which is a horizontal image, and cropped it so that it was the correct vertical dimensions, but then it will actually go ahead and scroll through all of these pictures. And when it's much smaller, you can see all of these pictures that you see over here in the images section on the advanced tab. They're all there just like they were there before, but now instead of being one that you have to swipe, this is just going to auto scroll through because it's the looping gallery.
And that is really cool. And you can have as many of those as you want. So I know a lot of you creative folks out there, like your brain's probably spinning a little bit because you're like, oh my gosh, I could put like 3 of those in a thing and like put stuff. And Rachel's really good at doing a lot of that stuff in her sites.
Yeah.
She does all sorts of creative things with that. So the possibilities are endless.
The possibilities are totally endless. Just like you can on Showit desktop, you can do overlays in mobile, which is really cool. That's something that you really don't see in other mobile sites, but in Showit, you still have the capability to do those overlays. So I just did, I did a headshot image and some overlay text, which is great. Something to keep in mind when you're putting text on your site, just like you would on your desktop, you want to make sure that you're actually using the text editor to add that text and not adding that text as an image. When you do that, you run the risk of it being pixelated, and then Google can't read that text, but it can read anything that you use the text editor to do. So again, my site is just one long, really scrolling site that doesn't have nearly the information that's on my desktop, but you don't have time when you're like on the train or you're picking your kid up from soccer practice and you're looking through. You want just the most important information.
And you want, one of the biggest things is you want people to be able to make a decision and complete an action very quickly. There's been a lot of studies that show that people use mobile to do something, to complete something, to make a purchase, or
take a next step.
Take a next step. It's not just kind of flipping around and messing around. Like people use mobile to get stuff done, to shop and do all sorts of stuff. So
I use mine all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's like the size of my face.
Yeah,
so.
Why switch to a computer?
Exactly. One of the really cool things that you can do inside of Showit Mobile that you may not realize is that you can make a link clickable as a phone number. So if you here I grabbed the text box that's got my phone number in it, and if I come over to the link tab, which is over on the right hand side, and I click URL, I want to open it in a new window, and then I use this little it's a little, like, what is that, code?
Yeah, it's kind of a code.
It's like fancy. It's like an insider information.
It's Cody is showing.
That's right. And so it's TEL for telephone, and then a colon, and then the plus sign, the number 1 if you're calling a US number, and then your 9-digit number following that. And that's really cool. It's actually clickable on the phone. You'll see that as a button, and you can call me or send me a text.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of those cool things that's I think pretty specific to Showit Mobile, is that you can have links interact with different apps inside of the phone. So you can actually do the same thing with an address, and it'll open in Google Maps. So if you're like navigate to my office, they can click the thing right inside your phone. It'll pull it up, and they click navigate.
So if you're a studio,
studio,
that's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, so same with texting and calling and everything.
Yeah, and if you want to use that as a text link, it's SMS.
Yeah.
And then the colon and the number, and people can text you, and texting is great. I mean, I never call my hairdresser anymore for an appointment. I text her.
Neither do I. Not that I have a hairdresser.
Do you have a hairdresser, Jason? Okay. Of course you do. Jason is a hipster. Well, we like to tease him about that. Same thing happens with the email link. You can click on that, and it's email me, and you can put in the information. And in my subject line, I like to put mobile web inquiry, just so that I know, like, oh, how many inquiries do I get that are desktop, and how many are mobile? And they can change that. We've seen lots of people make this really fun. I saw someone that wrote, "Won't you be our photographer?"
Oh, nice.
Or a wedding photographer. And I thought,
how encouraging.
It's so cute. And that really leads them down the road. Like, heck yeah, I want you to be my wedding photographer. You're fun. Just like you would have a contact menu or a contact message area on your desktop, you can also do that on your mobile. I think that's super important. You want to make it easy for people to get in touch with you and get the information you need.
Oh yeah, and you have that all laid out. I mean, you had social media, you had email and phone number, and then now you have, if they want to send a personal message.
Lots of ways to connect without being pushy about it, but just suggesting, hey, we should get in touch. We should be friends. Follow me here. Let's talk. Now, one of the things that I think is really important is that I say that my mobile site is one page. It's actually 2 pages.
Right.
So
you need one more.
And it's sort of a super secret page for those that fill out the contact form. They click on submit, and then it will take them to the second page, the hidden page of my site. And what that page is just a page that says, hey, thank you so much for your message, and I'll be in touch soon. So it's a confirmation, which I think is really important, because have you ever sent a message to someone and you're like, I don't know if that went through.
Right, I hope that worked.
Yeah, and usually it does work, but I think we still live in a day and age where we're not so sure if we want to trust that technology. Right. So it's super important that you have that second page that says, thanks so much for your message, or whatever you want it to say. I'll be in touch soon. And then, because my site is 7,500 pixels long, to fill up the rest of the space on that page, I just added in more pictures. These are my favorite images that I like to use, that are the ideal images for the type of client that I want to work with. Will love these. And so it's just a great way to add a little bit more without feeling overwhelmed, like I need to put a lot more information there.
Because this could be you.
Yes, this could be you. This is also a really great place to use the tiled gallery.
Right, yeah.
Because, it's an opportunity to, again, get all of those different images in there and just solidify that, heck yeah, I'm glad I sent that message.
Absolutely.
I want to work with this photographer. So I want to go back and answer, Lucy had a question about how can I make it easy for people to actually swipe through or scroll through my images. So we're going to come back up here. We're going to grab that gallery that we had changed into a looping gallery. I'm going to actually change it back to the static gallery and fix the sizing again on it. And this is something that it's just so easy to do inside of Showit, that you can just drag and drop things and move them around very simply without needing to know any code, which is just fantastic for the non-techie like me. There are a couple different things that you could do, Lucy. If you wanted it to be super evident that they could swipe on those images, you could come over here to the shapes, to the icons, and actually you could probably add some icons that go back and forth.
Under the heart.
Ooh, there we go.
There's an actual arrow.
There are actual arrows. I clicked on the wrong spot. So there are some full arrows here. There's all sorts of goodies inside of Showit.
Those ones.
There's thin arrows. I've seen people use the letter V to its side,
or
because
2 of these right next to each other.
Yeah, because you can make anything. Clickable. So looping gallery is swipeable, which is the one that we just had up, and then simple gallery uses custom controls, which is just similar to what you do on your desktop site.
Yep, you can have buttons to control the gallery.
Yeah. So
the bottom line is you can do whatever you want, and that's the coolest thing about this is really play with it and then change it and mess around with it and break it, because it's important.
You really can't break Showit though.
No, you can't break it.
Yeah, so feel free to
But you can
play
break
with
what
it.
you already did. I mean,
You can. So these are just the little arrows that you can come in. One of my favorite tools inside of Showit that you may or may not be aware of is that you can grab 2 items here and you can come over into the layout tab, which is again on the right hand side, and under alignment and distribution you can choose match size, and it'll match the width, the height, or both. And so like, oh, those arrows do not match, and instead of trying to eyeball that, I can just choose both.
Bam.
And now they're the same size, and now I can align them to the top. And if I want to make them both smaller, I can do that. If I want to come over to advanced, I want to click on one at a time. Come over to advanced, I can change the fill color. So if I want to make that white, I'm always so proud when I remember the like hexadecimal code colors.
You're like,
right?
it's right there.
I know what that is. 6 Fs. And now I've got my little white arrows, and what I'll do is I'll come over into the custom controls area and make those work for this gallery. So let's click on one of these, and we want that to action, and then we want to make sure we know what the name of that gallery is. And so if we click on that and you click on the advanced, you come over here, you can see that the image area is background. I can even change that. So I'm going to make it gallery 1. So this image area is gallery 1. I'm going to come back over to my little icon here, select it, and click again on link. And then under action, under target, gallery 1, which I've just renamed it. And then instead of clicking play, I actually want to tell it to go to the next. So it's going to go to the next image that's in that gallery. And I come over and I do the same thing with the one on the left that indicates that we're going back the other way. Click action, gallery 1 is our target. And then instead of next, we want it to be previous. So as we swipe through these, that's now how it's going to go. And that should be pretty intuitive to your users, Lucy, and everybody else. And I'd like these to probably be up just a little bit higher. And something that I think is really important is that you also take a look at, like, how does this look? How do those arrows look on my images? Where are they hitting? It may even affect what images you choose to use, or you go in and you, again, prep your images outside of Showit so that they're in the right spot and they're visible to everyone. Looking through. So again, we'd love to know if you guys have any questions out there about doing Showit mobile. For me, it took me about an hour to do my site when I finally knew what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I think that's really important. You want to be super intentional about what you're doing on your site. Really thinking about how people are using it, how much time are they spending.
And also on that, I would say that you do want to be intentional, but don't let it overwhelm you so much that you're like, I have to plan out 3 months of my life to get this mobile site going. Because one of the best things is that anything is changeable.
Yes.
And also one of the coolest things that you should think about when marketing your business is that you have the opportunity to test out different things. So try putting your gallery first, try putting your contact, try putting your phone really big, and just see what gets you more inquiries. Engage it and change your what you do.
See what happens, and you totally can't, and you can track it in Google Analytics.
Exactly.
You can set up a tracking number.
It's super scientific about it.
Totally. Let's go ahead and let's show what it's like if we publish this out. So we're here, we're on the mobile site, we click on publish. It always makes me think of Harry Potter. It's like the little lightning bolt, right? So I'm a wizard now.
Makes me think of Lightning McQueen, because Josiah watches Cars on repeat.
Oh, that's awesome. I love Lightning. Ka-chow. I love Lightning McQueen. So there are a couple of different options. There's publish now, and there's a full publish option. I'm going to show you full publish option, so you can come in and you can see, you can put in your site description, you can put in your Google Analytics ID, which I have not done. Do as I say, not as I track. You want to choose Showit instant hosting. And then, or that's what I want to choose, and then publish, and it's going to publish out your whole site. Now, this isn't the last step, though, for when you're publishing your brand new mobile site. You're also going to want to go back over to your main site and do a full publish, and we'll walk you through that. There's a specific little place that you are going to want to select the mobile site that you've done. So make sure you know the name of the mobile site that you are wanting to share out, because if you're like me, you might have multiple versions of your mobile site. So if we come back over here and we click up in the top hand, in the up left side, your main site is in this nice box. You're like, okay, that's where I am. That's home. I'm gonna go back to home base here. Opens up nice and quick. If we click on publish again, same spot, Harry Potter, Lightning McQueen, Lightning Bolt up in the top. You're going to want to choose, again, full publish options down at the bottom. And here I actually have put in my Google Analytics code. Click on the next button. This set up the site loader. This is a page where you can choose all sorts of fun things. You can put your logo as your site loader. But when you come into the mobile settings page, this is key.
Yep.
This is where it's at, right?
This is flipping the switch.
Flipping the switch. Walk us through, Jason. How's that work?
Yeah. So what this does is this gives you, looks like this page got a little small because of our laptop size.
Yes.
But what this is basically your mobile settings. So it's telling Showit what to do when somebody visits your site on a mobile device, essentially. So there's HTML5 default. That's what we've had in the past, which is just basically your desktop site.
Right. It's going to turn your desktop site into an HTML5 site.
Exactly, just the horizontal version.
Right.
And then there's the custom HTML5 mobile.
That's the one you want.
That's the one you want. And that's why it says recommended on it. And then so what you'll see here is it gives you a little drop down to pick from all of your HTML5 custom mobile sites.
So this is where you need to know what the name of the one is you want to choose.
Yes, exactly. You don't have, you can always change it, but you want to remember which one you used if you have multiple sites, like you have like 30.
Just if you.
Just if you have 30. So click that from the drop down and then hit next.
Oh, hold on just a second.
Sorry, go ahead.
One of my favorite things on this is that you can choose to redirect tablet to mobile.
Yes.
So there's this little box down here right below where you've chosen which mobile site you're going to use. I actually don't want anyone who's on an iPad or on a tablet to go to the mobile version of my site because my site is designed so that it looks and works really beautiful on a larger tablet device.
Right. And a lot of people hold their tablets
this way. Yeah. Or it's intuitive to go, oh, this way.
Horizontal, which with your phone you don't do.
Yeah. So you get to choose. Yeah. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. And that being said, it's just up to preference. But the custom mobile sites, they're made to size to the size of an iPad. So it'll still look great.
Oh, it'll be perfect.
It's just up to whatever.
It'll be perfect on an iPad as well. I just think it's cool that you have the choice. You have the option to go back and forth. So the next step is next. And then you get here into the hosting questions again. If you're using Showit Instant Hosting, all of your changes are going to go live immediately, which is like immediate gratification of I have this awesome site and it's out in the world and it's going now.
No code.
Yeah. So I have a lot of pages inside of my main desktop site. There are 20 pages. And so it's going to go through that process of creating all of those images, which again, for me is why I decided one page was enough. But there are lots of show tiers that have multiple mobile pages and it's fantastic. And they're doing a great job. I think one of the most important things to think about is just not to put too much information on one page. And so if you're going to have multiple pages, you want to pare down that information, make sure that the text is large enough to read and test it out on multiple devices. And it was amazing the other day, Todd was telling me about all the math that was involved with figuring out how this works on different devices. And I was just like, I can't, that's awesome.
Start getting dizzy.
Yeah, right? No, I don't. Too many numbers. But that's all been figured out for you. You don't have to deal with that. The Showit developers who are just so smart, they have figured all of that out for you.
They're code wizards, so we don't have to.
I know, right? Maybe that's why there's a Harry Potter
Harry Potter
wizard. So that is kind of the basics of how you can go through and create your own mobile site. There is a tutorial video that you can watch, and you can find that in the Showit wiki, which is actually sort of a gold mine of information. There's videos and there's tutorial information. If you get stuck, there's always our support pros that are online here Monday through Friday.
And I was going to mention on that, if you haven't published a Plus site at all, like if you have Showit and you've never published a Plus site, just go ahead and go straight to the support pros and hit us up in chat, because we'll just have to configure a little thing on your domain just to allow for Plus sites to be set up.
A little wizardry magic.
Right. So if you're going through like what we did here and you're like, it's still not showing up, that's probably why. It just means it hasn't been set up for Plus sites yet. But if you have been set up for Plus sites, don't worry about it. This will all work
You're all set and ready to go.
Sorry, just a little disclaimer there.
No, that's really good, but they do want to help you, and so make sure you jump into chat and get that taken care of.
Yeah, chat with them for anything. You don't. It doesn't have to be that.
It doesn't have to be about mobile.
Even if you just need help with like making a casserole.
Seriously?
You're like, what? Yeah.
I need a lot of cooking.
John knows how to make a casserole.
I would believe that about John.
John Hopkins can make a casserole.
Yeah, and John Hopkins is also sporting an Apple Watch. right now, and so I think it just
he would just say casserole.
Like, casserole. Tell me how to make it. It's so the world we live in is so crazy. Like mobile devices the size of your face and watches on your. Well, I mean, watches have been around for a while. But watches that can tell you how to make a casserole. So don't get overwhelmed by creating your mobile site. We are here to help you, and hopefully one of these days we're going to get Rachel actually in here, and she'll do a 30-minute conversion. So we'd love it if you would come back and watch that when she's able to be on. And Rachel, we hope that your little one is feeling so much better, and hopefully it was just like one of those one-off situations, right?
Bad yogurt or something.
Yeah, and not the beginning of a week-long challenge for you. But you guys, thank you so much for watching and joining us on Show It Live today. We've got a really cool show coming up next week.
Yes.
We're going to be live from New York City.
What?
The
Big Apple.
Big Apple. Big lights, big city.
Big Apple.
We're going to have a really amazing guest for you. It's a secret, so we're not telling you yet. But
you have to watch.
But you have to watch. Keep an eye out for that, and good luck with your mobile sites. We want to see them. If you create your custom mobile site, post it. Yeah, post it up in the Showit Facebook group.
Yeah.
We want to check it out.
Or if you don't want to post it up, you want us to post it for you, just email us. The support guys. I'm Jason at showit.co.
Yep.
She's Elizabeth.
I'm Elizabeth at showit.co.
We're here for you guys.
We are. We love you guys. Have a wonderful week. Make sure you join us for United. Grab those tickets before they're gone.
Yes.
They're on their way out the door.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.